Hey guys, what's going on? It is Rick, and I'm here with part two of my August 2020 reviews. First, I want to mention this sweet new shirt I recently received. This is actually the first time I'm wearing it. It is from a company called Toy Snobs off of Instagram, as you guys can see. It is a heavyweight shirt crossed with a Wu-Tang Clan shirt. They've also done a lot of like cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. So when I saw this shirt, had to get it I want to say a copy because I'm so used to talking about movies, but I wanted to get one for me. I also got one for RJ because he really loves this movie as well. So yeah, I wanted to grab this. They do limited run T-shirts where you pre-order, and then they basically make them on demand, and that's it. Like it's one press, one printing of the shirts, and that's it. So very cool shirt. Follow Toy Snob on Instagram for sure. Like I said, they have really cool stuff. I'm so glad I got this. But we're here to talk about movie reviews, not my sweet t-shirt. So we have 7 movies to talk about. I'm recording this on September the 3rd. So a lot of this stuff, like I said, this was the second week of August, so I'm just about a month removed from it. The first one's going to be pretty wild to talk about because of recent events. But the first movie we watched in this period was Da 5 Bloods on Netflix, which, as you guys might know, stars Chadwick Boseman. And I don't really want to do a video about Chadwick Boseman because I just don't. I think it's kind of distasteful. I mean, I could do it non-monetized, but you know, what I've seen Chadwick Boseman in has been great. I know he was a very important actor. I know the character of Black Panther was very important to a lot of people. And like I said, I've seen him in a good amount of things. There's still stuff of his I need to watch. I need to watch 42. I haven't seen The Express. But he's been fantastic in stuff like Marshall, Black Panther, Avengers, Endgame, Infinity War, Civil War, Draft Day. So Chadwick Boseman, you'll be missed. A great actor, taken too young. But yeah, so Da 5 Bloods was the last movie that was in the last hat of films that we had. And it had been surrounded by a lot of hype. It's the newest Spike Lee film, Spike Lee joint, if you will. And, you know, the man definitely has his finger on the pulse of what's going on in the world today. I think that's an understatement. The movie changes filming styles throughout, the way it looks throughout. It's a beautiful film. And does lots of like aspect ratio changes, which show like flashbacks and whatnot. And Delroy Lindo, who definitely should be at the top of the list this year if there is an Oscars for Best Supporting Actor Oscar, even though he's more the lead in this film because it's an ensemble. I would think they would try to put him as a supporting actor, but he's fantastic. He gives an excellent performance. The movie, however, feels a little disorienting at times, disoriented. You know, and the movie's very, very drawn out. I want to say it's a 2.5 hour movie, 2 hours and 25 minutes. But it didn't. There were a few parts where it really lagged. I thought it was good. I did not think it was a great film. So the actors in this movie are going back some like 40 plus years after the Vietnam War because there was gold that they had buried with Chadwick Boseman, who was part of their group and ended up getting killed during war. As you can kind of like, you can tell by the trailers, all the older guys in the movie are still playing old guys, and then Chadwick Boseman is it's I don't want to spoil it too much, but so I found an issue with some of the side stories then because of the Vietnam War almost being 50 years ago and it taking place in modern times, and side stories with how old like kids are and different things. So I had issues with that. The time just didn't work out in my head, in my opinion. Um, I think the movie could use some editing and overstays its welcome. I think it's a good film, but I think Black Klansman, which was his previous film before Da 5 Bloods, was a much better movie. I give Da 5 Bloods a 3 out of 5. I definitely think it's a good movie. Is it the best thing I've seen this year? No, not in my opinion. But yeah, so Da 5 Bloods. Next up was a movie we watched on Vudu, which was a bit of a bizarre watch, but one that had me curious. And it's a film called Swallow. I thought the movie would be incredibly far out of my comfort level. I thought it would be like hard to watch, uneasy situation, because the movie tackles a condition known as pica, which basically is a psychological, I wrote this down, disorder where people get they get an appetite for non-nutritive items, I believe is the terminology. So it starts out, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it starts out with a marble and somebody swallowing a marble, and then it ramps up from there. I expected this movie to be more of like a horror thriller kind of movie, and it actually plays out more like a drama with just a weird quirk that one of the characters has. Definitely a character study more so than anything else. Not a horror movie. Like I said, I expected it to be very twisted, and it wasn't quite there for me in that way, which I'm glad. Part of me is glad, because even though she's swallowing different things, it doesn't get too graphic. We'll say graphic in parts for sure, but not as graphic as they could have gone. Haley Bennett is the lead, and she's fantastic in the lead performance. It's a very heavy movie, and the ending just didn't pay off for me. It's definitely one where I could see it having a cult following or having a niche following. So, yeah, I give it a 2.5 out of 5. Nothing I'm going to go buy right away for sure. I'm definitely not rushing out to buy that one. But Swallow is definitely an interesting flick. There's certain people I know who I would highly recommend it to. So yeah, Swallow, 2.5. Next up, finally something I can hold and show you guys. I have this four movie comedy collection here, and we watched Fired Up. Which I had seen numerous times before, but Bridget had never seen. We were looking for something funny because we had watched Swallow, I believe. I don't know if we watched all three of those movies in one day, but I feel like after watching Da 5 Bloods and Swallow, we kind of cherry-picked a comedy movie out of the hat and put on Fired Up. And, this movie came out in 2009, and I remember it being pretty funny when it came out. I was 25 at the time, 24, 25. And as I rewatched this movie, I was reminded that I think the movie would have been much funnier. And it's actually funny when I looked at this set that was a Mill Creek set from, when did this come out? 2016. The other three movies in this set are all R-rated comedies. Fired Up was a PG-13 film. And I think it would have been much more funny and probably would have... Like, I felt like they were holding back jokes at times for a PG-13 movie. And it's still a funny film. I'm not saying it's not funny. But I think if they would have, not held back and just went with ideas. Because, like I said, Fired Up stands for F you. So that's a blatant, joke there. But there's just a lot in this movie where, with an R rating, I think it really would have excelled even more. Eric Christian Olsen, who is that guy right there. You recognize him. I think he was on one of the CSIs or NCIS shows. He was also in Dumb and Dumber, but he plays the lead along with Nicholas D'Agosto. Sorry, I'm butchering his name. But Eric Christian Olsen is a wise ass in this movie and plays it perfectly and shines at it. But it's definitely a movie that was made in a different time, and you can tell that watching it now. Um, and like just some of the humor and some of the phrases they use and innuendos, it's definitely something that they would probably have to tiptoe around. Like I said, it would be a perfect R-rated movie, and I still believe that. The PG-13 is a bit questionable. And then I have this written down. I obviously, if you guys didn't realize, I look at my letterbox notes while I review stuff. But my girlfriend mentioned that why didn't they have them as college kids? They were supposed to be high school kids. Like, these two guys are on a football team and basically go to cheerleading camp to hook up with girls. And there's other stuff where, like, there's a coach that one of the kids wants to hook up. Like, why not have them in college and go to this cheerleading camp? It just seems, I don't know. It's a stupid fun movie. Definitely something I enjoy. I think I give it a 2.5. It's not a masterpiece. Yeah, I give it a 2.5. It's a fun movie, but not something that I would say like go out and see before everything else. But yeah, Fired Up is a fun watch. I don't know where to put it because I'm switching my setup here. Next up is a movie that has been hyped up to me for a very long time, especially as a comedy fan, especially liking other movies by the directors. Well, it's only directed by one of the brothers. It's directed by Joel Coen. But I love Big Lebowski. I love Fargo. I've enjoyed quite a few of the Coen brothers movies. But then there's also Coen brothers movies that I am not a fan of. The one that pops up into my head all the time is Inside Llewyn Davis. Llewyn Davis, I'm sorry. And like I said, it's a movie I've never seen. This is from '87. So it's regarded as a classic. It's Nicolas Cage, Holly Hunter in Raising Arizona. Also, John Goodman is in this film as well. And this movie gets a lot of love. A lot of people say it's one of the Coen brothers' best films. I personally want to say that I did not like this movie at all. I borderline hated this movie. I just found all the characters to be annoying. The only thing I enjoyed about it was that John Goodman's look in this movie reminds me of my friend John, who you guys have seen in Cinema Sickness videos. Am I blurry? My camera just doesn't seem like it's sharp today. But yeah, the humor just wasn't there for me. I don't think I laughed at all, honestly. The cast annoyed me as a whole, not just like one or two characters, but the entire cast kind of just bothered me. There was a lot of over-the-top slapstick stuff that just didn't work for me. It's cool to see a lot of Coen Brothers regulars in the movie. But I would personally, like I said, rather watch Big Lebowski or Fargo before revisiting this. This is not going to make the shelf, and I think I know somebody who's interested in upgrading their DVD to Blu-ray of this. So I will probably reach out to them and see if they want it. But yeah, I give this a 1 out of 5. Was not a fan. I don't get the hype. So Raising Arizona, not for me, guys. Next up is another Dollar Tree title. I'm really mowing through them. 2 in the last 2 months. But this is on another list I had, which is Shia LaBeouf movies I've never seen. So this was twofold. Watch a Dollar Tree movie that I had never seen, and watch a Shia LaBeouf movie I'd never seen. And I love the slipcover of this, and that is Charlie Countryman. And Charlie Countryman starts out, it's a bit of a downer, but once Shia LaBeouf's character gets on a plane in this movie, he has an interaction with someone sitting next to him. The movie starts to ramp up, if you will. I started getting into it, and the movie struggles to like find its footing. I think it's a mixture of like a love story, but then it's like a gangster movie, but it wants to do its own thing. And Shia is good in this movie, and he usually is, but this movie just didn't do it for me. Features a really good cast. Not only do you have Shia LaBeouf, you have Evan Rachel Wood, Mads Mikkelsen, Vincent D'Onofrio, Melissa Leo, Rupert Grint from the Harry Potter films, Aubrey Plaza, who is advertised and is literally in this movie for 30 seconds in such a disposable role. It was kind of weird to see her as an ex-girlfriend of Shia LaBeouf. She's literally in the movie for 30 seconds, never shows back up. But this isn't going to stay on the shelf. I give it a 2 out of 5. It's a watchable movie, but nothing mind-blowing. It's not like a lot of other stuff LaBeouf has done. So, Charlie Countryman, also not making the shelf. Next was a movie that I saw on HBO Max. It's a movie that I thought I had, but I did not keep a copy. I definitely need to try to get my hands on it. Hopefully through my Facebook Marketplace hauls, I'll find a copy. And that is Harriet, which we watched on HBO Max, which stars Cynthia Erivo, who plays Harriet Tubman, and she's absolutely fantastic in this film. It tells the story of her escaping slavery and her experience in working with the Underground Railroad, becoming one of the leaders of the Underground Railroad, and how important of a figure she was in United States history, in the history of the world, in my opinion. The movie was a very powerful watch, featured phenomenal performances throughout, and one I just highly recommend. Not only was Cynthia Erivo fantastic, and if you don't know who she is, the thing that sticks out in my head that she did was she was in Bad Times at the El Royale. That's where I recognized her from. But also stars Leslie Odom Jr., who was in Hamilton, and Joe Alwyn, who I'm not familiar with his work, but he was fantastic as well. If you have not seen this movie, I highly recommend Harriet. Great performances, a powerful story, very well done. I give it a 4 out of 5. Definitely one I'd highly recommend. I will be getting it on physical in the near future. And last but not least for this week, guys, I watched a movie that has been hyped up to me for a very long time from my buddy Dave, Cinema Sickness. One of his favorite haunted house ghost movies of all time. A fantastic horror movie, so he says. And that is The Innkeepers. Fun fact about this movie, I got it from Joe Martinez a while ago. It was part of the first group of stuff he sent me. It was this and The Babadook, if I remember correctly. Joe, comment down below if I'm incorrect. So I knew going in this was a low-budget haunted house ghost film. And they can be very hit or miss for me. So I lowered my expectations from what it had been hyped up to me as from Dave. And the movie starts out with Pat Healy and, what's her name? Sarah Paxton, who I had previously seen in a movie, Cheap Thrills, which I had recommended to Dave and he loved. It's a fantastic dark comedy. If you guys have not seen Cheap Thrills, it's released by Draft House Films on Blu-ray. Look into it. But there's a lot of like, Pat Healy's a smartass. He's funny. He's comedy relief, and they think the hotel they're working in is haunted. It's the last weekend that the hotel is going to be opened. And you can tell there's a lot of character building, lots of just talking between the two of them for like the first 30 minutes. There's nothing horror-wise going on. It's just kind of building up the backstory of the characters of the hotel. And the payoff just isn't there in this movie. I found the movie extremely boring, and it's only 100 minutes. It wasn't very creepy. It wasn't suspenseful. I know it's based on a real place, but I just wasn't a fan of this. I thought the ending was awful. Definitely not staying on the shelf. This is not making the shelf. I was not a fan of this movie. I gave it a 1 out of 5. The Innkeepers, not what I was hoping it would be. Secretly, I lowered my expectations, but was hoping it would really surprise me. It just disappointed me. So The Innkeepers, 1 out of 5. Not making the shelves, guys. Yeah, so that is it. Like I said, we watched, 7 movies in this period. The next review video I do is only 4 movies, so that'll be a bit different. But you guys can see some of the stuff I watched there. I can do this. We can do a screenshot live. Let's see here. I'll do that so you can see it. Oh. There we go. Screenshot done in the middle of the video. So, yeah, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching as always. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Also subscribe if you guys don't do so already. Hit the bell notification so you guys know when new videos are dropping. Like I said, I'm recording this on September 3rd, so by the time this drops, will probably be... When is this dropping? I think it's dropping this upcoming Tuesday. So exciting news for all you guys that watch this. I am back to work officially next week after almost 5.5 months of being out of work from the pandemic. So good news, bad news. Live streams, as you guys know, were happening every Thursday or most Thursdays. They will not be happening anymore. Occasionally I might try to schedule a live stream maybe once a month because people enjoy them. I enjoy doing them, but it's with the work schedule back to normal. I won't have time to do live streams, but I will still stress and try to put out videos Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday review videos, Thursday, Saturday pickup videos for the immediate future. Once I kind of get caught up on videos and my buying level kind of levels back down, I might slow that down. But the plan is still Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday review videos. This video will come out much sooner. I have review video or pickup videos that still have to drop. So it's a game of catch up. So you guys will see this probably the 10th. No. You guys will see this the day after Labor Day, if I'm not mistaken. So this will come, and then older videos will be after it, and we're playing catch up. Review videos, pickup videos are coming. They're not stopping, and that's it. Check out the description box down below, where you can find links to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, my eBay page, Blu-ray.com profile, Amazon wishlist, Letterboxd, where I rate and review all the movies I watch. There's probably other stuff, but I don't remember right now. Email address, P.O. Box, all can be found down below. That's it, guys. As always, until next time, who's down to movie? Bye.